This New Jersey drone story is starting to frustrate me because continuously they continue to report, they continue to say, and the governor said it out of his own mouth, that these drones do not pose a threat. Yet they say they don't know what these drones actually are or where they're coming from. So my question to all of you all is, maybe I'm just crazy, but if you don't know what these things are, and if you don't know where they're coming from, how do you know that they're not posing a threat? How? It seems to me like they're just telling people what they want to hear so they don't panic. That's what it seems like to me. And let me put it to you like this. Maybe right now they're not posing an immediate threat, but they're obviously not flying around out here for no reason. And I would assume they're not flying around out here for our best interest, right? We all know that whatever's behind it, it's not good. And whatever they plan on doing, it's not good. That's a given. Okay? No one's flying around in drones in the sky trying to figure out who they're going to gift $1 million. No, they're trying to find out, hey, what kind of messed up stuff can we do here? Basically, right? But let me put it like this. Even if they're not posing an immediate threat, let's say if they were, they still wouldn't have been stopped. Yes, luckily enough, these drones didn't fly over New Jersey and start freaking dropping grenades and stuff on people. Luckily enough. But if they were out to cause harm, then they wouldn't have been immediately stopped. Because now for the past few weeks, they're flying over New Jersey recklessly. No one's stopping them. Now, obviously, if they were out carrying out attacks, yeah, I think the drones would have been confronted by now. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, if whoever is flying these things over New Jersey originally had the intention of carrying out some type of attack with these drones initially, then that initial attack, they would have gotten away with it. Because the fact that they're simply getting away with flying these drones at all over military bases and what have you, it shows you that they could have done something. Do you all get what I'm saying here? Like, oh, yeah, we could all breathe a deep breath of relief that they haven't done anything to cause harm that we know of yet. But if they wanted to, they could have. And they would not have been stopped, at least initially or originally. Would they still be out here every night for weeks? No, probably not. But if they decided to do something crazy just one time, one day, they could have gotten away with it. So I do think that's a cause for concern. And to tell people that this poses no threat, when you have weird objects flying over your head in the sky, I mean, the simple fact that one of these things could fall down to the ground, and the fact that these things are supposedly the size of freaking minivans and stuff, that poses a threat right there. Because who in the hell has access to a drone that big that could literally fall on someone's house or something like that? You know what I mean? So these things are definitely posing a threat. But to take it one step further, when you see the areas that these things are flying over, you immediately know, okay, it looks like these things are flying over critical infrastructure. They're flying over certain areas for a reason, and that reason doesn't look like it's a good reason. It looks like a reason that would pose a threat to us in the future, a threat to our country, a threat to our military, a threat to everyone in New Jersey, and it probably won't be long before we start seeing these things around us as well. But let's go ahead and roll this news clip, and then I'll be right back with more.
Now investigating those mysterious drones flying around New Jersey over the past month. They've been spotted hovering over military facilities, water reservoirs, and even at Trump's Bedminster golf course. But Governor Phil Murphy says there is no known threat to the public. Chris Swecker is a former assistant FBI director, and he joins me now. Chris, how has this been allowed to go on for the better part of a month, especially within that month? Donald Trump won an election. He has a property there at Bedminster, and these drones are apparently flying over that. That seems like a huge violation of everything that the Secret Service says it wants to change. So how is this still allowed to go on?
Yeah, it certainly does. It's perplexing, and I don't understand why. I mean, citizens have been reporting this for quite a while, since November 22nd. So I just hope that the FBI, which is probably the lead agency in this, has actually been working this for quite a while. But that wouldn't explain why the drones just keep on coming. Secret Service, there's an issue there, of course, with the golf course. Whether Trump is there at the time the drones were there would be a significant issue. But I think it's mainly a counterintelligence issue that needs to be resolved. First and foremost, there's an arsenal there, a military arsenal there, where a considerable amount of research takes place on small arms and explosives. It's a very important facility, Army facility. And, we know how aggressive the Chinese have been over the last few years with the balloons. So I'm interested in hearing more about these drones and why they're not doing something to stop it.
I believe I asked you this question months ago when the Chinese spy balloon, like you mentioned, was flying. So I'll ask it again. Is it safe to say that our airspace is, quite frankly, not secure, even though I think the average American always just assumed that the space above them in the air was secure?
I think you're right. It's that assumption that probably causes a lot of people not to report. But I think our airspace is the Wild West. It's supposed to be controlled by the FAA. It's actually illegal for someone to actually shoot down a drone, which is considered an aircraft. So, you can't take matters into your own hands. But I would encourage the public up in New Jersey or anywhere else, when they see a drone that shouldn't be there, or there are several zones that seem to be working together, to report it. It could be a cyber issue as well. They could be hacking from a drone, which if you read up on it, it's either a criminal threat where they're trying to do it for criminal purposes to commit fraud, or they're just generally disrupting things.
So many questions unanswered. We need answers for this, because this just can't happen.
So understand, ladies and gentlemen, I am not here to say that these drones are going to kill us all. Everyone, run for your life. Panic, they're coming for us. That's not what I'm here to say. But what I am here to do is inject a little bit of common sense into the equation, because if the government legitimately does not know what these things are, then they can't legitimately say that these things don't pose any threat to us. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Either you don't know what these things are, and you don't know what type of threat they may pose either now or in the future, or you do know what these things are, and you're confident that they don't pose a threat. And if that's the case, you need to go ahead and let people know at least somewhat of what's going on, so they can sleep better at night while these mysterious vehicles fly in the sky over their heads. But I believe the answer to whatever these things are would be embarrassing, at least to the U.S. military and the people who are in charge of protecting this country. But they also made some interesting points in the video clip that we just watched. As you see, it's not just me and people like you all questioning these things. We even have the ex-director of the ex-assistant director of the FBI questioning what in the hell is going on here, and why are these things still allowed to be flying in the sky? And they made a great point about how Trump, they supposedly beefed up his security. The Secret Service were supposedly going to be doing a way better job after the last 2 attempts on his life, yet for a month straight, we got mysterious drones flying over his golf course without anything being done about it. Now, as they said, there are certain laws and regulations. You can't just go and shoot down one of these drones. And the military, I don't believe they're allowed to just shoot down one of these drones in the sky over people's houses. So that poses a problem as well. But I would think they could follow these things and shoot them down over the ocean, because supposedly that's where they're coming from. But we don't even know that for a fact yet. Right now, this is all still a big mess. So I would like you all to help me make sense of this mess down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.